Hello and welcome to Picture Astrology. In this quick snap video, we will talk about placement of moon in the sign of Aries. And as always, our aim would be to understand from the practical perspective how this placement affects your life. And we'll primarily look at what are the traits or personality. And one of the best ways to understand placement of a planet in a sign is by understanding the sign and the planet individually. Now, what is Aries? Aries is a fiery sign. And what is the nature of fire? So, one of the basic nature of fire is its tendency to transform things. Fire is one element which can completely alter the state of a substance. For example, if you put wood in the fire, what you would get is smoke, ashes, and a lot of heat. And when fire is done, there will be nothing of the wood remain as you originally put in it. So you see the complete transformation of a substance from one form to another, and it is also irreversible. Similarly, if you say put raw food in fire, what you get is cooked food. It's another irreversible change. And there is no other element which has such transformatory nature as that of the fire. And Aries being the active fire sign, meaning air is a fire which is spreading and spreading fast. It is not a static fire. And therefore this transformatory nature becomes much more pronounced in Aries. And moon in Vedic astrology is referred as your emotional center. And it is considered not just another graha or another planet, rather than entire horoscope is analyzed with moon as the ascendant or rising point. Because placement of moon really determines how you emotionally perceives the happenings or occurrences going around throughout your life. And people who have strong moon are capable to manifest their desires in real life much more easier, because this also shows the intensity and passion of your emotions. So placement of moon in any sign in any house is always given utmost importance in Vedic astrology. So how does this fiery and active sign of Aries affect your emotions? Well, first of all, obviously this gives a very energetic personality. Fiery sign and active in nature literally makes Aries arguably the most energetic sign of the entire zodiac. So these people have a lot of energy and they love a lot of activity. Invariably, it gives a good extrovert tendency. But one of the drawbacks of Aries is that it has a lot of energy, but it lacks perseverance. It is the ability to go on and finish the job. And that's not because lack of power, because they have a lot of it, but the temperament to continue for long time is missing in this sign. They tend to start many things. They are natural incubators of new ideas, but the perseverance required and the long-term sustained efforts required to really complete the task is what lacks in this sign of Aries. So if you have moon in Aries and a very good and strong Saturn, see, I'm not talking about malefic Saturn, I'm talking about a benefic and strong Saturn, then it could be one of the great signs of a person with a lot of energy as well as ability to finish what he started, and hence gives a lot of success in a person's life. Now also remember that a sign is a 30-degree area of the sky around you, and not all 30 degrees have the same qualities. In fact, that is one of the reasons why in Vedic astrology a sign is known as a Rashi, because it literally means that it is combination of many things. And a sign can be divided into many parts and in many ways to understand more specific implications on a person's horoscope. Now with Aries sign, at least the first 10 degree or 10 to 12 degree are always considered more conducive for mental agility. And there are various ways or various reasons for that. One of them is that the first 10 degree of Aries is the Moola Trikon of Mars. That is the area which brings about some of the most desirable Martian qualities, because the lord of this sign, Aries, is Mars. And at the same time, the first 13 degree, which also covers most of this 10 degree part, or actually 13 degree and 20 minutes, belong to the nakshatra of Ashwini, which also has a lot of mental qualities rather than physical and aggressive ones. So typically, this part of Aries imparts a lot of scientific temperament to a person. People who could be explorers or scientists or doctors or metallurgists, they tend to possess a well-fortified moon in this area of Aries sign. Whereas the last part of the Aries sign, the last 3 degree 20 minutes, is always considered more conducive for the more Martian or physical or military aspect, like police, like spy agencies, like army, and those kind of activities. And reason for that is that this area falls into a nakshatra of Kritika, which is very closely associated with military activities. This area also falls in Sagittarius Navamsa, the sign of the horseman, which again has great synergies with military and physical activities. And in general, the last part of Aries is said to be associated with the legs of the ram or the sheep, which is the symbol of Aries, and in general has more physical capacity than the rest of the 30 degrees. So this is one of the ways in which deeper understanding of various parts of the Aries sign can be done. Now, moon is considered as the primary karaka of mother. Now obviously 4th house and 4th house lord will also have great say in respect to your mother or physical characteristics of your mother, but moon's position at least shows the kind of experiences you will have from your mom. And moon in Aries shows that you will have your mother's experience as somebody who is like a driving force to you, someone who is always trying to motivate or push you to excel further and further, because Aries is the sign of ambition. There is no other sign which could be as ambitious as Aries, being the very first sign and also the active fire nature. So whether your mother in her own life will be very ambitious, hardworking, and someone who values achieving higher things in life a lot, that would depend a lot on the 4th house and 4th lord. But at least in your experience, she will be someone who will try to push you or be a driving force in making you or teaching you to be successful in life. Now, one very important principle of Vedic astrology is that wherever in any house or sign moon is placed, that place sort of becomes delicate. Now, by delicate I mean that it becomes prone to external influences, because moon is by far the most impressionable as well as soft planet in the Vedic astrology. So any negative influence on this moon or position of moon can indicate disease or physical problems related to that area. So Mars in Aries can really show trouble with eye. Eye trouble is very common. Red eye syndrome is common with this kind of placement. Headaches is another common thing because of excessive heat, excessive uptight and quick nature. And as you know, Aries is the first sign which represents the head. Now another common thing which usually happens is problems with rashes, bruises, cuts, and even minor accidents. And as you can obviously see that moon in the Aries sign, the fiery and active nature of Aries makes the person give a love of speed. They would be someone who will be really driving fast. They would be someone who will be always in a hurry. They would be walking fast, and that will definitely make them prone to cuts and bruises and accidents. But at the same time, Mars, which is the lord of Aries, has ownership of the 8th house as well, or 8th sign, which is the sign of Scorpio, and that is also closely related to surgeries and cuts and bruises. And that is why, or that is one more reason why Moon in Aries is always prone to these kind of physical problems. And as I said in the beginning, if you truly understand a sign and the planet, then a lot of inferences can be drawn by placement of a sign or placement of a planet in the sign. Say for example, Aries is an animal sign. It basically represents 4-footed animals like the sheep, which is the symbol of Aries sign. But by extension, it also represents 4-footed animals like dogs and cats and even farm animals. And Moon is all about your emotions, your love. People with Moon in Aries sign are more prone to be animal lovers. They tend to be more inclined towards 4-footed animals. Now Moon is also primary karak of agriculture according to Vedic astrology, and Aries shows the land where all these 4-footed animals roam around, like pastures or ranch, and by extension agricultural produce. So Moon in Aries is another very good placement for benefits from agriculture or agriculture related stuff that include animal husbandry, poultry, etc. And in some cases, when Saturn is also strong, this placement of Aries Moon can really give great benefits from the rustic heartland and from traditional professions. Now another way to interpret this position is that Moon, which is a watery planet in a totally opposite fiery sign, can give a tendency to be fearful towards either water or fire. It can give hydrophobia, which is the fear of water, as well as fear of fire at times, and that will only happen when Moon is afflicted in certain ways. Not in all placement of Moon Aries, because generally Moon Aries is pretty rash and brash personality, but affliction with certain kind of placement makes it prone to have some kind of typical or idiosyncratic qualities or unnecessary phobia or fear of water or fire. So friends, this was my quick analysis of Moon in the sign of Aries. I tried to put together different ways in which this placement can be interpreted and inferences can be drawn to give you some practical benefits. Please do post your comments about this format of explanation as well as your experiences, and thank you so much for being with me and watching this so far, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.